All right, can y'all hear me? Hello? Okay, can you hear me? Okay, can you hear me? Yep, there it goes. Yep, there it goes. Oh, crap. Thought it said Magi. Nope, I don't think I quite qualify for that one. Halloween, hello, good to see you. I've been so busy today, I haven't had time to message much of anyone. Born Oldest, welcome. Good to see you back. There's Peachy. Where would we all be without Peachy around? I don't know what we're going to do if a stream happens and Peachy don't show up. And Grace Isis, welcome. Wow, y'all just jumping in here quick today. You'd almost think y'all happy to see my ugly mug. As funny as it may sound, Born, I've actually had that same thing happen. And technically they can't happen without me. Yeah, I still panic and think I missed them. So it's one of those things, you know. Well, I hope everyone's had a good week. I know this has been a crazy week for me. So I've been working a lot with Odin, Freya, and Loki, trying to get all that up and running. Getting ready to do the some of the Norse magic videos, get those up on the channel. I know a lot of people have been asking about those. I also started a bit of my own shadow work. I like to do that anytime Beltane rolls around because that's one of the 2 times that the veil's seen as the thinnest. So I've been doing that. So it's good, it's healing, but whoo, is it stressful. Does not make for a good night's sleep either. So if y'all can't tell, I'm a little exhausted, so bear with me tonight. Speaking of shadow work, Tuesday's video is actually going to be on the topic of shadow work. I know I've been getting a lot of questions about shadow work and how one can begin it, so we made sure to get a video up on that. And I got a surprisingly positive comments on the jar video. I was actually expecting you all to be like, hey, this is cleaning a jar. Where's the magic? But clearly, the people emailing me is not the only people who wanted to know how to clean those candle jars so easily. And if any of you remember the intro video, I did say I'll be covering a magical life in general. So it may just be everyday stuff, but it serves a purpose and a point. Oh, let's see. Oh, and for those who don't know, thanks to you all, we have hit the YouTube partner goals completely. So that was freaking awesome. The channel got accepted. So we are about as official as you can get now, which I'm still finding it hard to believe, but thank you all for that. So we'll see how that affects things moving forward. I don't plan to change anything really. Oh, and I did have someone ask where I got the tapestry that was in Tuesday's video. I don't know. I know it was a gift years ago, and I don't even think I talked to the person who gave it to me anymore. And I just found it in a box. And I thought, hey, that'd make a great background for when I'm shooting in that room down there. which it looked really good actually. So how have you all been this week? I don't even think I know what a join button on YouTube is. I do know they have something called a super chat, which is kind of one of those things where I don't know if it's like a donation or whatnot in the chat to get you, and it pops up so you can get a shout out. I'm trying to figure that thing out because all of you all are constantly wanting to find ways to help me, which I appreciate because we are trying to get the message out there. And as far as the Amazon wish list, Linda did pull me to the side like you all told her to, and we kind of got it set up. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to put on it. So it is in the works. Beef pasta sounds good, Halloween. I'm working on it. I promise. We are working on it. I actually planned to have it up and ready for tonight, but due to the partner program approval, let's just say my week got sidetracked. And I don't know why, but recording that shadow work video, I think I reshot that video like 8 times. And even during editing, I'm like, I'm not perfectly happy with it. And I just kept telling myself, you're never happy with your videos. Go. So it's been a crazy one. New Blue, it said message rejected. So I don't know what happened there. But I am learning the Amazon thing. And I can't tell y'all how grateful and thankful I am for fans and viewers like you all. I mean, you're as much a part of this, getting this information out to the seekers. You've really got behind me and my mission statement. And I'm very grateful for that. Oh, you ain't kidding. I actually, there's in the Dragon Magic class, I've got a few emails with comments where people's like, it's like your pronunciation and spelling's not matching up here. It needs, y'all's really keeping me on my toes, which is good. Which is good. Hey, Mathis, there you are. Good to see you. Which reminds me, for my Patreon members, I'm actually working on a special little project for you guys. I'm hoping to get it posted either today or tomorrow. I'm pretty tired, so it might end up being tomorrow. Something a little comical that you all get to see a little earlier than everyone else. If it works. I don't know if it's going to work, so we'll see. I'm trying it. We all know how computers hate me, so, balance that out. That's my plan. Every time, and Halloween will tell you, there's been at least 2 or 3 times this week where I said, I'm going to bed early. And that was at like 11 p.m. when I would say that. And then at like 4:30 a.m., I realized I forgot to go to bed. And I don't even know how I did it because I literally get up to go to bed. That's what I'm doing. I get up to go to bed. And somewhere between getting up and walking down the hall, I completely forget what I'm doing and I wander off and start doing something else. And it's bad. It's bad. This is what happens when I ain't got a wife to be like, you need to go to bed, dummy. Yes, dear. So That's okay. But it has been a crazy busy week, and it's been a lot of fun. So I'm hoping that by next Friday, I'll officially have the Amazon wish list ready to go for y'all. I would say both of those could very well be complicit in my randomness, because if Odin starts talking, me and him will end up talking for hours without knowing it, because we just like to chat and share random thoughts and go down a hole of wisdom that never ends. And the twins, well, they're just trouble. They're distracting, they're fun, and I love to have a good time too. So yeah, that's very possible. And actually, thinking of all the entities I work with, that would probably be the ones that are most distracting. Oh boy, I bet he'd love that. It's like, you gotta make me go to bed. Welcome, Origin of Insanity. Good to see you tonight. Which, yeah, actually, I've been working a lot with Loki too, because I'm trying to figure out exactly how he wants to fit into the videos and the class that I'm hoping to do. I'm trying to decide if I actually want to do a full class or if I just want to produce it all in videos. I'm kind of two minds of that right now. It depends on how much I can do on YouTube as opposed to how much I can do in the class. I'm thinking about doing both, just doing as much as I absolutely can on YouTube, and then still doing the class for those who just want that little bit extra. You know, I did the same thing. I don't know why, but I did. I wanted to split the O and F. Good, I'm not the only one. Yay. Now, I did get a weird question in email. There are people who have been asking me about outdoor skills for when I go out and do my long campouts and stuff. If I could possibly do videos on those certain skills sets that I use while I'm out there camping, even before I actually get a camera that I can take camping with me that I don't have to worry about the weather. So I was actually kind of curious if you all might actually be interested in those kind of videos. I didn't actually consider those until I got the email, but it makes a lot of sense. So, okay, cool. All right. I know, was it last Friday or during Magical Coffee Hour, somebody told me to get my butt back on the smoker and start showing you how to cook different meats outside on the smoker. Which I assumed they meant, share the magical purposes and how you can utilize it for kitchen magic was my assumptions. But yeah. And I won't lie, I'm totally wanting to get back out to doing those. I actually have one written. I'm actually going to do an entire pork shoulder. So I'm going to do a whole video on showing you how to do a pork shoulder and how you can utilize that for magical purposes, similar to how we done the roast. But with things as they are, between weather and the fact that I just can't get out and get what I need so that I can cook it, that's the only holdup. As soon as things lighten up and I can get out and get what I need and the weather allows it, I'll be shooting that video. Which I think I did of magical properties of pork already. I can't remember. I have to go back and check. I know I did one on beef. But either way, if I did, I'll just gear it toward the type of herbs and stuff I'm using. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. I mean, any excuse to sit outside and grill, I'm down for it. So if it wouldn't be the longest live stream in history, I'd say I'll take y'all out with me and you just join me. Well, I'll be sitting there drinking coffee or whatever for 16 hours. That might be a little overkill. Can't do that. I'd be okay with that. Well, as soon as I am capable of getting a camera that can handle the outdoor conditions and I don't have to worry about it messing up, my plan is to actually take you all out on a camp out with me and shoot different portions so you all see what I mean when I say I go out there and I do these. They're essentially path working or ritual working campouts. The whole weekend is dedicated to magic. It's relaxing, don't get me wrong, but I actually make the whole weekend part of a magical working. Peachy. Well, I mean, it could be argued that cooking isn't magical. So, there's and outdoor skills. I mean, even though you can utilize it to get out in nature and connect, some people might even argue that's not. But when the person emailed me, I totally fell in love with that ideal because one thing that when it comes to whether you call it bushcraft camping, survival camping, um, or just primitive camping, one thing that I love about it is you really do get to connect with those energy patterns out in nature, and it gives you a better understanding of just what it's like to be out there. And it's something I love. That's why I do it. So yeah, I mean, you guys don't mind if I venture off into areas and share, well, I guess my magical life with you in general, because I did do that video on a magical life, and I stated every part of life is magical. You guys are clearly going to hold me to that one. This is true, Peachy. You have been cooking in your sanctum left and right. Which I won't lie, I actually tested out a pickled fish recipe recently, and I just opened the jar and saw how it turned out tonight. I've never been a fan of pickled fish store-bought, but you make it yourself. That stuff is good. It's actually addictive. Though I think I'm still more of a fan of pickled eggs myself. But I won't eat them store-bought, but homemade, they're good. Well, I take that back. No. I was going to say there is one place where they sell them that I would eat them, but I think that grocery store was pretty much a country store, and they did make their own. And I'm also thinking it burned down. So that might make a liar out of me when I say store-bought. So, and before you all ask, yes, there are more Dragon Magic videos coming. It's just I want to get back and get more magical information for those who may not necessarily be Dragon Magic driven. Now that we did get the basics on the channel, because clearly that was needed, we are going to try and mix it up a bit more. But that does not mean there isn't more Dragon Magic coming. There is. Much like the Terrafauna video, I plan to do a video for the other 3 rulers in turn. So those are coming as well. Let's see. And I'm actually wanting to do some dragon magic focused spell work too. Try and get some spells and rituals and stuff like that on the channel about how, you can do spell work and stuff with dragons that may differ slightly from traditional spell work. Yes, and that's true, Peachy. The classes are open. The Dragon Magic 101 class is open. Just go to workingdragonmystic.com, click on online classes. It's right there. To complete the whole course, roughly 6 weeks, I believe is what we figured. It's a long course. Oh, my nose. Sorry, I keep messing with my nose. I had a sneezing fit right before we went live, so I was a little terrified I wouldn't be able to stop sneezing when we went live, and you'd all be laughing at me for that. So far, I seem to be doing all right. And we will be working on the Dragon Magic 102. I'm wanting to get it up, we'll say late summer, early fall. That's when I want it to go live. So we'll see if I can stick to that schedule. Oh, I did actually think of something, and you all can blame my friend Katrina for this one. If we can get this channel to, let's say, she said 5,000. I don't know. Is that doable? That might be good. Okay, well, 5,000 by, let's say, Samhain. Okay, so Halloween. I will let my wife pick my costume and do my makeup for a live stream. I will wear it on here. I don't care if she puts me in a freaking Southern Belle dress. I'll let her pick it. She can do the makeup, all that crap. If we can get there. And believe me, my wife will jump at the chance to embarrass the tar out of me. So now Katrina technically didn't want to go that far down the road. She was wanting it sooner. She's like, I think she wanted to say, like, what was it, 4th of July, something like that. But if I'm going to risk dressing in drag on live stream, because I know my wife, I know how much she loves to torture me, and so does Katrina, which is why she specifically picked me allowing Seffi to do it. Yeah, I figured give y'all a good shot at 5,000 by Samhain. That seems reasonable, don't it? You need to see that. All right, well, there you go. So anyone you can, share the videos with them, share the channel with them. Get the word out there. Whatever social media you're using, share it. Just share away and drive people here, because once we hit that 5,000, it's locked in. As long as we hit it before Samhain, my wife will be doing my makeup and picking my costume. Lord help me. And, well, yeah, well, if she puts me in a dress, we'll have to buy the dress. We do not own a dress enough big enough for me. Oh, my military ID, I've never been so thankful for a black and white picture in my life. Because I was actually testing temporary hair color for her, because she can't have unnatural hair colors and stuff. So I was testing it, and our thought process is, with all of my gray, if it would wash out of my hair, it'd wash out of hers, no problem. And she picked this gorgeous, this deep, deep red scarlet. I loved it. And we put that in my hair. Looked great until I showered. It did not wash out. It turned bright pink. And we had to go get our IDs done. And I get up to the picture, and they're like, take your hat off. I was like, do I have to? She's like, yes, you do. Why don't you want to take your hat off? So when I took it off, there's my hair, bright pink. And she's like, Oh, yeah, that would explain it. Oh, thank goodness for black and white pictures. So, oh, it was. Actually, it lasted for a couple weeks, and it got so bad that for the first time in my life, I actually dyed my hair. So we went out and bought black hair dye to get my hair back to the color it should be. I normally don't dye my hair. I like my gray, so it's never been an issue. Oh, Lord. See, Pinky's already done decided she's using magic and dragons to get us to 5,000, so I have to let my wife do my costume. Okay, well, we got that. I'm actually a little worried about that one, but I am a man of my word, so. Oh, don't get him involved. He loves to torture me too much already. Mathis, yeah, there is. Makeup magic is actually pretty popular. Though most people wouldn't refer to it as makeup magic, though that's exactly what it is. If you look at all the different magical paint like that's used in Norse shamanism, or actually a lot of shamanism for that matter, you can utilize that in modern makeup. And if I can get a model to help me do a video on it, I might do it. I just have to get someone that's going to, because I could do the video and yeah, I could technically put lipstick on and stuff because that's no big deal. It's just I am no good at doing makeup, people, so it would look awful and horrible. So if we're going to do this and show people how to utilize it, I think we should show it well. So I will need to find a model. I am planning to do some videos on how you can use different paints and stuff in a more shamanic way, not the modern makeup style. So that we will have. But yeah, that's actually a great idea, Mathis. Heck, if I wonder if Seffi would actually. I wonder if she would let me put her on camera for that one. We might try that, Mathis. We might try and get her on camera finally. Of course, we still gotta wait for her to get home. But yeah, that's a great video idea. Halloween, that's sweet of you. Yeah, you would actually make a really good model, but that's a piece of a drive to just shoot a video. Actually, we might. You know what? I'll message you after because we might not need you here. We might be able to just do like photos if you're. So we may discuss that if you're up to it. That's an interesting thought. I didn't think about doing just photos. So if I can't get a model, that might be a good backup plan. So yeah, it might not be tonight because unless I suddenly surprisingly just wake up which okay, it might be tonight because I'm horrible. It's like I'm going to bed. Suddenly I'm wide awake. But otherwise, the plan is to go to bed after stream tonight. That's the theoretical plan. So, all right. Any questions for me other than the makeup magic, which we covered, which is a freaking awesome ideal? You know, I can't even think of ever seeing a video on makeup magic, which surprises me with all the people who do makeup on YouTube. Might even be able to reach out to someone and collab. Who knows? We'll figure that one out. That's a good idea. That's something that needs to be utilized. So, yeah. Oh, weekly challenge. Thank you. Yeah. This week, actually, I think since we've done emotional and we've done physical, I was thinking we'd actually work a bit on energetic or astral. So, this week, what I was thinking we would do for the weekly challenge is I want you to daily come up with something that you can do daily to work with your astral and energy body to balance it, to cleanse it, and make sure it's healthy and it's in good order. Way too many people really do neglect their energetic and astral body. I think the most that most people will do is ground and shield, and that's about it. They never take the time to actually work with their energy body and focus on it and check it out. See if there's any spots that are out of balance, maybe astral sludge clinging to it, those kinds of things. And you'd be surprised just what 1 week of focusing on your astral body and getting it cleaned up can do for you. So yeah, that's actually what I want to do for the weekly challenge this week. And you can use candle magic. You can use a sigil to help you focus on cleaning it. You can even use your own photograph, or you can use meditation, trance. For those of you who are working with the Dragon Magic 101 class, you can harness the Dragon's Fire meditation, and you can actually use that Dragon's Fire to move it through your body to clean out that aura as well. So if you want to try that out. And if you've already started working with your guardian and or co-magician, hit them up, ask them for ideas. But yeah, definitely start working on that. Spend a whole week focusing on getting that astral body cleaned up. I'm I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with mine, because I know what I do on a daily, regular basis that works for me, but I want to try something different for the challenge. I want to go into new territory. So I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I want to do mine. And I'm actually thinking I might look into talking to Odin and Frey about maybe doing some Golder Staff magic and getting a Golder Staff that can do that and trying that out. Does that make sense? Or did I ramble on and just confuse everybody? Cool. All right. Good to know everything makes sense. There you go. I mean, if you're in the Dragon Magic 101 class and taking it right now, you might as well approach them, and because it helps with everything else you're doing right now too. So yeah. So here's a question: what's everybody got planned for Beltane, if anything? As I told you all, I'm going to be focused on shadow work that evening, and well, Raven's birthday's that evening, so I don't know if they're attempting anything that night or not. And actually, we have a live stream on Beltane. Y'all realize that? That's an appropriate finals week. It really is. I'm gonna have to think on that. We might try and do something special. I don't know. It'd be kind of hard to get everybody involved in like a group ritual or something, but I'll think of something and I'll drop it in the community tab as well as in the Discord if I do something special for it. If nothing else, we'll just be hanging out and spending Beltane together for a little while. How about that? So yeah, the Working Dragon Mystic crew will be together for Beltane. How about that? If nothing else, which is kind of cool. If Raven and them drop by, maybe I can drag at least Raven on here and y'all can say happy birthday to her. No, I haven't seen Westworld. I don't watch a lot of TV. Hey, Mortimer, good to see you. Grace Isis, that's a pretty good question. What happens during shadow work is anytime the trauma happens, you push it down and you're suppressing it and you're pushing it into the subconscious. So you're not getting rid of it. You're not healing it at all. It's just there and it's festering. So during shadow work, you go down and you find these problems, these issues, and you bring them up to the conscious mind, aka you're pulling them up into the light, and you're able to examine them now because you're in a controlled situation and you're able to look at it and you're able to understand it and you're able to incorporate those things or move past them. So think of it kind of like emptying out a sewage tank, because as you process it, as you get it out, it's no longer a part of you, in the sense that it's no longer a toxic thing. Now, some things it's more about integrating it into you as opposed to getting rid of it. Like anger was one for me when I was younger, which I talked about in the video coming out Tuesday. Well, anger is not in and of itself a bad thing, but by completely just suppressing it and pushing it down, it became a bad thing. So I actually had to pull that up and I had to examine it, learn it, and understand it and integrate it into me so that I could control it and master it to become the calm guy you guys know today. And some things like traumas or something bad that happened to you, getting injured, car crashes, there's lots of things. I don't want to mention all the possibilities, but a lot of those things are just a processing through the emotion and actually consciously working through it and moving past it and realizing this was then, I survived it. I'm strong enough to survive it, and therefore I can move past it. And that's really simplifying it. Believe me, that is really simplifying it. I know. But because you get it out, because you're able to actually deal with it, it heals you on a spiritual level and gives you control of those both conscious and subconscious states of both your mind, your energy, and your emotions. And that really helps you to become a complete person. So that would be it in a nutshell. And I hope that makes sense. Technically, born, most pagans dance naked at all of them, to be really honest with you. But Beltane, yeah, it's the big fertility holiday for most pagans. It's the point where, yeah, It's the big fertility holiday, if I recall correctly. Um, and I'm in the same boat. I'm not really good at remembering pagan holidays myself. We don't do a lot for them. And that's probably because I'm just not a very spiritual or religious person. But I mean, they're a lot of fun anytime you can celebrate and have a holiday and have a good time. So yeah, the main reason I remember Beltane is because I do utilize that energy of that Belvian then to work with, um, to work with my shadow work. Well, Mortimer, actually, Ostara is more the Easter analog. Though Beltane does have similar overlap, but Ostara is really the big Easter analog. Literally, the traditions from Easter come from Ostara. Which I think was one of the coolest things when I first started studying magic, realizing these holidays that I remember growing up, it's like there's nothing remotely biblical about these holidays. It makes no sense. How do you get a rabbit from Jesus? It never made sense to me. And then, of course, you do a little more research and you realize, okay, it's not a Jesus thing. It's this thing over here. They just kept the celebration going and kind of incorporated it. And okay, I see now. Makes more sense. Well, see, I won't call it plagiarism. It doesn't really bother me because if you think about it, people are going to get along and be more peaceful if you can relate and share ideals. So for me, it's not been a big bother. The big bother for me is that we didn't teach its history because I think that's the important part. And if the history was taught more, I think it would be a lot cooler. Which Yule's a perfect example. My mom, me, and Raven sat down and we discussed the history of Yule because my mom was actually wondering where certain Christmas traditions came from. So she actually got a nice history lesson on where some of those traditions came from. And my mom's definitely Christian, but it was a pleasant conversation. And because of that, you now have my mom, who has a far greater respect for Raven, who's very much pagan. And come the holiday season, they can share the holidays together because of it. So it actually brings everyone together because you share that history. Yeah, Peachy the rabbit pooping out eggs. Well, don't get me wrong, Born. I'm not saying they did it in a good way. It's just I do have my reasons for not really considering it a problem. Easter's constantly moving around on the calendar, if I remember right. It's not always in the same place. Uh, Different people celebrate them in different ways. So most of my friends, if they do an Easter, they just do it whenever the church does it, and then they do Beltane on its own thing. And if they do Ostara, they do Ostara on its traditional day, which I can't think of what that would be right now. Nope, we cannot do a naked Beltane stream. First off, ain't nobody wants to see that because I'm the only one we'd be seeing. And I ain't lost that much weight yet, dude. Not to mention, I'm sure YouTube would probably have a problem with that. They would have my hide and shut my channel down. So, yeah. Hey, John, good to see you, man. I've been doing pretty good. Staying busy, but been doing good. No, see, there you go. Yeah, I would say that there's a lot of things in life that really therapy could definitely be helpful for. I've said it 1,000 times, and I'll say it 1,000 more. Magic is by no means a replacement for professional medical help when you need it. It's not. Seriously. It can help with the professional, but I would never say replace professional with magic. And what most people don't realize is actually shadow work, the term itself comes from psychology. It was Dr. Jung who actually coined the term. And though, yes, in magic we use certain shamanic style ideals to work with the shadow, he's really the one who defined it as to what we know today. So that's kind of an important thing. But yeah, if you're doing your shadow work and you're having trouble with it, getting through it because something's just too bad and too hard, or if it's just not working and you do need that extra something, yeah, definitely reach out. Definitely. See, Mortimer gets it. He cringes at the thought of a naked stream. He gets it. At least someone's on my side. Thanks, Mortimer. Well, yeah, YouTube's on my side because they'll shut my channel down. I do that, so can't do that because we got to keep the cause going. We got to reach seekers. So yeah. Yeah, it's totally to aid, never replace. And I know a lot of people um, disagree with me on that. But I'm sorry. I've studied history too much, and I'm pro modern medicine because, well, we can save an arm from a gunshot wound now, where the old treatment used to be, what the heck, just chop it off. Well, now, like I did say, y'all should start sharing the channel and the videos on all your social media because if we hit 5,000 before Samhain, my wife gets to pick my costume, my makeup, and all that crap. So you may actually get to see me in drag at 5,000. Yeah, it did. Young's, it really did borrow. But again, that's one of those things where we keep pushing forward and learning and moving forward that way. I mean, one could say I borrowed a lot from Conway's work to get where I'm at today. Even though my work's not the same, and it's definitely a middle road, but if it wasn't for those works that I built off of, I wouldn't be here. And to me, that's one of the cool things of history. We can learn so much from history and build upon it. Which at least one or two of you heard me geek out in private chats about history. So yeah, see, yeah, bloodletting and amputation. Heck yeah. Or sticking leeches on people. Ooh. So yeah. And as somebody who's had a lot of injuries, if it wasn't for modern medicine, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have any arms or legs right now. They'd been like, screw it, just amputating. Heck, they may have amputated me just so I'd stop hurting myself. They're like, he's an idiot. He can't be mobile. So, and also, I mean, I think I've mentioned it on here, if not in a video before. I'm epileptic, so if it wasn't for modern medicine, they'd be trying to drill a hole in my head right now. And no, Not happening. You give me the choice between die or let us drill a hole in your head. I'm going to choose die. Yeah, glasses, you're right. Not good. I mean, there's just so many little things we take for granted these days. So, yeah. I think we all understand that. Well, I think we beat that horse, and it's been dead a while, so we're good there. Yeah, you're right about that. I don't know about you, Peachy, but growing up in the South, I talked back, I got smacked through a wall. No questions asked. My dad actually used to joke when we was watching cartoons together that that's what it looked like every time I back talked to my mom, and you saw the silhouette of Yosemite Sam when he got knocked through the wall. My mom had a tremendous backhand. I remember the first day she told me she was taking up tennis. I was like, "You'll do great." And she's like, "How do you know?" I was like, "I know what your backhand's like." And I don't play tennis, but everybody talks about a good backhand can win a tennis game. She didn't find it as funny as I did. Yeah, good old loony bin. Padded rooms, shock therapy. See, people's like, it's horrible. I actually do not begrudge how I grew up. I'm kind of thankful for it because looking back, I would not be the charming goofball I am. I think they did a good job raising me. God knows I was not an easy kid to deal with. I wouldn't want to deal with me. That's how bad I was. If I had a kid like me, I'd probably kill him. So my hats is really off to them. I don't know how they manage it. Yeah, big emphasis on the goofball. Um, I made a joke one year. I'm the reason my mom loves wine. I'm with you on that, Born. I really am. I don't think I could do it. Just in general, the way I live my life, being a workaholic, both me and my wife, we have careers, and neither one of us, it may sound selfish and horrible, but neither one of us want to make the life changes required to raise a kid. But I don't see it as selfish. I see it as a wise thing. And, we know ourselves, we know our lifestyle. And I think that's, in my opinion, that's better than just having a kid for the sake of having a kid. I got nieces and nephews to spoil, so I figure that's where I'll focus. So, and I'll be honest, I wouldn't be able to do the research I did if I had a kid because I'd actually have to wonder: is this going to screw up and Me be unconscious for a few hours. I don't know. So no, couldn't do it. And heck, as is, I hesitate to get even a cat or a dog because of how it might change my lifestyle. I mean, could you all imagine if we got a puppy or something and I had to train it during these live streams? If it's just me in the house, the dog could be barking, and it could just be horrid. Shadow work itself doesn't require the work of demons if you are doing shadow work. Shadow work is a process of dealing with your personal self, not demons itself, not demons directly. And another thing is demons are actually drastically misrepresented because of, well, Christians. Most demons that we think of as demons are actually old or ancient deities. Um, so they're not out to get us the way that traditional lore and history has painted them to be out to get us. So working with them is actually very much like working with any other entity. But you don't have to work with any entity to do shadow work. Which I think I mentioned entities for maybe 2 or 3 minutes in the video that's coming out Tuesday, because the process is really focused on you. Entities can help. They can help guide you. They can help balance out the energy and deal with the energies. But at the end of the day, it's really all about you. Shadow work is not shadow magic, which actually there's a little joke in the video I made about that, because there's a lot of light workers who avoid shadow work because they think it's all negative. It's a healing process. It really is. So it's very much a healing magic. And it's not negative, it's just hard. And sometimes the most beneficial thing for you is also some of the hardest work you'll do. But I will say this, the first time you do shadow work is always the hardest, because that's when you have a lifetime, however old you are, your whole life, you've been suppressing stuff one way or another. So that's when you have the most to start digging through. To quote Shrek, it's like an onion. Every time you just peel in another layer off that onion until eventually you ain't got no onion and you're done. You're fine. No more tears. Mortimer, you might be right on that, because yeah, you're right. I've seen that movie. My wife made me watch it. It's freaking hilarious. But there's some truth to that. We got a lot of intelligent people who have no plans to breed here. Oh Lord. No problem. So yeah, I hope that helps a bit. And Tuesday's video, it's actually quite a long one. It's funny because when I recorded it, it felt like it was only like a 15-minute video, maybe. It actually ended up quite longer than I thought. But shadow work is a complex topic, so I guess that makes sense. And I hope I covered it well. And I may end up doing more videos on shadow work. I won't lie. I think shadow work is possibly, hands down, the single most important healing practice a practitioner can do. I really do. Because it's really the only practice that deals with all those things that's hidden in your subconscious. And no matter how much we alter our energy bodies and all that, if we don't dig into the subconscious and actually get that stuff out, we don't really get nowhere. And I truly do. I think it's hands down one of the most important. Yeah, that's actually, John, that's a pretty good thing. Yeah, you're right. It's, there's positives and negatives tied to a lot of things. And um, the bulk of shadow work is facing the stuff that you don't want to face. And a lot of it does come from childhood because you're not mature enough to face stuff and you didn't want to deal with it at the time. So now that you have the time, the maturity, and you can control the situation, you can work through it. Much like I mentioned, my anger. Anger itself is not negative. It's not a bad thing. It's what you do with it, how you utilize it. And it's actually far more dangerous and harmful to completely separate yourself from anger, which is what I attempted to do, which ended up in an explosive temper, than to actually face it, understand it, incorporate it, learn it, and utilize the strengths of it and master it, and then keep away the negative side effects of it as well. And the same thing with, pretty much anything in life. There's two sides to it, everything. Oh, somebody got Popeyes. I don't think we have a Popeyes around here. I ain't seen one yet, anyway. I'm sure there is one. If I Googled it, I'd probably find one. But I won't lie, coming back from the West Coast, there were plenty of Popeyes, but no KFCs. So when I moved back here, we've pretty much been eating KFC the whole time because my wife is like addicted to KFC's coleslaw. And well, we're Kentuckians, so let's be honest. There's certain things we grew up with from Kentucky that we still enjoy, just not Kentucky itself. And KFC is just like 5 minutes up the road, so yeah, I'm lazy. Drive 5 minutes, or possibly have to drive to the next town over, which is Norfolk, and that's 45 minutes away. So, fried chicken is awesome. One of the first keto recipes that I actually had to figure out how to do was fried chicken. Because when I first started trying to eat healthier and went keto years back, there's so many foods I thought I would miss that I didn't. But fried chicken was the one. And I didn't realize I missed it until someone brought it in and they were eating it for their lunch. And for a month long, I could not get fried chicken out of my head. And I ended up going out and I was like, I'm going to go get me a 2-piece meal and a biscuit. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a responsible Drake. And I'm just going to get me a 2-piece meal. Well, I came home with an 18-piece bucket, all the trimmings. And yeah, I ate every bit of it because, yeah, that's me. I can't do the 2-piece. I can't go in, get a 2-piece and walk away. I can't do it. So I realized I had to find a way to do it otherwise. Mathis, I actually have a shadow work video coming out Tuesday. That has been a huge topic of late. And I really dove in and spent all week trying to figure out how to frame it up as best I could to get a beginner shadow work video that's functional. So we finally did it, and that it'll be releasing Tuesday. Class. Ooh. I don't know if I'll do a shadow working class. I usually do shadow working one-on-one. I've never done one in a way that I don't know if I could video one or not. That is an interesting concept, though. I might have to meditate on that one and look and see. But I am wanting to do more shadow working videos, techniques, ideals, and concepts now that we got the beginners one up. Because, like I said, I do think it's one of the most important practices you can do. Thank you, Mortimer. At least I'm not alone. Most guys, I think, are like that. I mean, go big or go home. I think that's one of the reasons I enjoy fasting so much is because it's easy for me to just work and not eat. And then just eat a big meal. Yeah, responsible and Drake is rarely used to describe the other. Almost everyone I know, when they hear someone refer to me as responsible, they start laughing because from a business, financial, or analytics side, I look very responsible. But when you get to know me personality-wise and just in my general life, you quickly realize I'm not. I'm good with keeping my finances in order. I'm good with keeping my house in order. But pretty much everything else, yeah, I'm not responsible. I get those great ideals and get in trouble. Two a.m. is like a magical snack hour. I don't know what it is. I don't care who you are. Almost everyone I know, no matter how much they eat, how little they eat, 2 a.m. rolls around, they want something. And I don't know what it is about 2 a.m. People, they want something at 2 a.m. if they're awake. I've still got people that are too fun to be around. I think that's why I enjoy the South. Everybody down here is so laid back and goofy. I know, right? Um, my wife says that. See, one of the first things when her last cat passed is I can no longer blame the cookies disappearing on her cat because she would make like 3 dozen chocolate chip cookies and she would eat 2 or 3 of them, but every time she went in there, the plate's just getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and she's not seeing me eat them. But yeah, you can't leave me alone with a plate of cookies. You can't do it. So now I've started blaming the dragons. So no problem, Grace. I hope I did a good job. Um, one of the reasons I haven't done more shadow work videos until now, it is such a hard topic to talk about. And for me, I've always done better talking about it when I can do one-on-one back and forth Q&A type thing. But that's not something I'm able to do, whether it's a video class or even in a video, but the information still needs to be out there. So it's actually great that I now have these live streams because I can put the videos out there. You can watch them, you can utilize them, And you can come back to me during the live streams and ask me questions where, let's be honest, people, I answer questions better verbally than I ever do typing. And those of you in the Discord know how bad it is. But yeah, so I do my best to answer as clearly as I can. She'll try to use the video as evidence if she sees it. See, there you go, Mathis. If I could eat the way I eat and look the way you look, I'd be a happy guy. Well, see, now Halloween, that might have been part of the problem because I was in Washington State, which is north. So maybe it's the northern West Coast that was so bad. I'm not a big fan of California for different reasons, mostly the weather. I don't like heat. But all the times I visited, the people were pretty nice. But what scares me is I could say the same thing about Washington. I got there and everybody's really nice starting out. So if we ever get stationed in California, I guess that theory will be tested. And I'm just kind of hoping they're laid back, nice, and friendly people if that's the case. Fingers crossed, right? Of course, if I get stationed in California, I know a few viewers that I have that are in California. No, I'm actually I prefer winter. The only part of winter I don't like is snow and ice. Otherwise, I enjoy cooler weather. Though my wife actually enjoys warmer weather. So yeah, right now where we're at, it's a kind of a nice medium. So we're both a little happy, and we're looking for a place to retire that's kind of in that, which is why we're looking toward Pensacola. Yeah, yeah. Um, but the places in the South that I enjoy living, they actually have winter. So the summer actually helps me appreciate the winter. And there is a part of the southern summers that you've got to understand. When you're out in that direct heat of the sun, it's bad, it's rough. But those summer nights, the clear skies, stars as far as you can see, the lightning bugs, the cool breeze, oh, that's heaven. That right there is heaven. Yeah, I love rain, don't get me wrong. I do my best sleeping when it's raining. Which is one reason it's been so hard to stay awake today. It's been raining all day. Autumn is gorgeous. You may potentially, possibly, maybe have a point, Mortimer. Oh, Peachy, I'll tell you, driving down like I-75 in autumn before the leaves fall, but they've changed, it's like one of the most gorgeous trips. So, yeah, I love autumn. That is one thing I missed when I was in Washington. Everything up there is evergreen trees, so nothing really changes colors. You know, I never thought of Chicago and apple picking. Every time I think of Chicago, I think of blues music and pizza and just city. But they actually do have quite a bit of apples up in there, don't they? Okay, dude, that actually sounds pretty good, believe it or not. The main issue, because I don't eat bananas straight, but I love them mixed into stuff. The only issue is the avocado. I love avocado. I love guacamole, but if I eat it, it feels like somebody has a fork inside me just stabbing me. I don't know what it is about avocado. The doctors have had me checked over 5, 6 ways to Sunday, and it's just comes down to it. It's like it hurts you. Don't eat it. So, which actually, there's quite a few of the plants and vegetables that do that. That's one of the reasons I started gravitating more and more to the carnivore style eating. It's just I don't have to think about what I'm eating, whether it's going to hurt me. But that does sound freaking delicious. And I may actually have to make that to have it and just deal with the pain altogether anyway. Because that sounds freaking delicious, John. See, I'm not the only one wanting to try it. Look at that. Hey, there's a video idea. Smoothie magic. You can actually do a lot of magic with smoothies. Accomplish a lot. Although now you got me wanting chocolate. And I don't think I have any chocolate in the house at this moment. That's actually a good idea. I'll get a costume, dress up as Snape, and do a potions class. I am actually wanting to do a video on what potions really is and how they can function and how you can use them. Because there's a lot of practitioners who put potions in the realm of fantasy. And I understand why, because potions have been put up on this, you drink it, instant effect kind of shelf. But they actually do have a real function in magic. And much like the weight loss thing I talked about for my physical challenge week, that was technically a potion. So yeah, that might be a good thing to do around Halloween or whatnot. Do a potion video and dress up as Snape. I clearly need the wig. Okay, apparently I'm not qualified to be Snape now. Technically, I fall into Slytherin mostly. The only time I'm not in Slytherin is when I somehow trip and fall into Gryffindor. But I like to believe I'm smarter than Gryffindors. They charge in without thinking a little too much. That I do, John. I do use a lot of coconut oil in my coffee. And it is good. I actually stumbled on that one by accident because I was doing bulletproof coffee where you use butter. Which first time I tried that, I thought it'd be nasty, but it's really good. And I didn't have butter, so I tried coconut oil. It's harder to mix, but if you get it mixed in real well, it adds a nice flavor to it. God, it's good. No, I don't need to dress as that. And technically speaking, that's my daily dress. He dresses as me if you think about it. But no. All right. Before this turns into a how we pick on Drake horribly, do y'all have any final questions before we close up? What is this? Somebody sent him a hotkey. I would actually probably, if somebody sent me a hockey stick, I'd probably find a way to utilize it. I really would. I won't lie. Though I think he only used that in the TV series. I don't think he actually uses it in the book, does he? I'm Hagrid? I don't have the hair for that. I know I can't grow the beard for that. I wish I could, but I can't. I got actually too much burn scars. They don't show up, but nothing really grows here. So, I don't need it. I have dragons. Now, if anybody wants to give me a 3-headed dog, I'll take that in a heartbeat. Only reason I read the Harry Potter books was because of Fluffy. And then he was only in it for like a snippet, and it's like, I totally got cheated, people. I really did. So, all right. Yeah, the staff actually, the energy starts flowing through you and the staff. So it does help anchor a bit more energy, which will leave you a bit energized, no doubt about it. Well, not a bit, but quite energized. Even I would say it's better than coffee. It will give you definitely a pick me up real quick. Well, I'm actually 6'2", so I might fall into that half giant category pretty easily, honestly. So, well, if no one's got any more questions, we'll go ahead and get ready to wrap up here. Uh, Tuesday, we do have a video coming out on shadow work. Be sure to check that out. And if we can hit 5K by Samhain, my wife gets to do whatever she wants, makeup and costume wise, and I will have to wear it on live stream. Even if it's a clown costume, I'd rather be dressed in drag than as a clown. I'll be honest with you. But so she gets to torture me, and you all get to see it. Hold on just 1 second here. Let me make sure I'm thinking of the right plant. Okay, yeah, I'm thinking of the right plant. Um, my opinion on plant medicine in general is I do think it has a place, and I would definitely encourage more research on all of them, me personally, because I think with responsible use that there's a lot of good things that can come from them. I mean, let's just look at marijuana, for example. There's a lot of medical uses that um, more research is just constantly finding more uses for it. And some of them, I think, garner some more restrictions. Currently, I think marijuana at this point should just be, legalize it, be done with it. But from a personal view, and this is clearly and strictly just personal, I don't use them. It's kind of like I don't like anything that doesn't make me feel like I'm disconnected from myself. It's just a personal thing. I've never liked that. Um, that's one reason I don't do the whole drunken thing because the one time I got drunk, I didn't like it. So, but yeah, I think that they can have a lot of good medicinal uses. And when you look at many shamanic practices, and this is a question I actually get a lot on the channel, there are shamans who utilize plants like that to help with trance work and shamanic journeys. Um, and my big thing is always do so safely, responsibly, and check your local laws because legal is legal, illegal is illegal, and I don't want no one getting in trouble. That's my big thing. So yeah, anything you do, use it responsibly and safely, even alcohol. So, I mean, don't do something stupid. Don't go out there, get drunk, and drive. Don't do that. But no, I think plant medicine actually is something that should be looked into more. And I do know a lot of science and research is actually going back into that direction, which is good. Um, and it's been a long time coming. It really has. But science and research is getting back to the data and less to who's paying the bills. That was always a big thing for me with science. They got to the point where they just became yes men. And we're finally getting researchers who are they don't care what other people think. They're going to do the research and they're going to reveal the facts. And I'm really glad about that. Born, I know it's a joke, but I know at least 5 people who's had that experience. So that's one reason it's a touchy topic is because there are people who go overboard. They don't handle it responsibly. It's like people try to make the argument nightshade isn't poisonous, it's a healing herb. No, it's toxic, it's poisonous. Used correctly, it can be healed, and you need to be licensed and you need to be trained. Just like snake venom. Snake venom will kill you, but anti-venom is actually made from the snake venom. So, you know, there's a right and a wrong way to use these things. And one reason I don't do a lot of herbalism videos is I ain't a trained herbalist. So I don't work with any of the toxic plants or anything like that. That's one reason I love the Kitchen Witch series that I started and we're getting ready to get back into because it's using stuff in your kitchen, stuff you don't have to think about. You put it on your food, you know it's safe, and you can get tremendous magical uses out of it. You're right. It's all about balance, John. It really is. And there's some great herbalism courses out there. It's just none of them's really in an affordable price range that I found. So, Mortimer, that day is already here. You do have a lot of scientists who are actually looking to metaphysical practitioners and comparing notes already. So the I told you so is actually already happening, and it's a fascinating time. I grew up loving science. So, and that's the reason my practice is so science based. And you do now have scientists that are actually looking back and they're comparing notes and asking questions because the metaphysics has actually been onto something for a while. Now the scientists are coming in and like, instead of just the faith and the general gnosis, they're actually starting to be able to put a framework around it. It's like the old saying, magic is only the science we don't understand yet. How many black districts do I have? Basically, my closet looks like this. Really does. I have probably 6 or 8 black dress shirts that are all button up. And I don't know how many t-shirts I have or undershirts. That's usually red and black. And all my pants, whether they're slacks, jeans, whatnot, they're all black. So if any of you remember who Ernest P. Worrell is, in those movies when he opened his closet and he's picking his outfit, and every outfit was that gray shirt, that denim vest and pants and hat, and he was trying to pick an outfit even though they all look the same. That's actually what my closet looks like. So yeah, I have a lot of black shirts. I won't lie. I'm actually a little surprised. It's the first time I got that question. Well, thanks, Will. I'm glad you like it. Honestly, I'm glad it looks good because it's easy for me. I'm lazy. I don't really do a lot to think about it. And I go in my closet, I grab something, I know everything matches. So it's a practicality for me. Black does come in different shades. It really does. So yeah. Hey, I am not even upset about that. I actually have all of Ernest's big movies because Jim Varney was an awesome comedian. People, the only one of his movies I don't have at this time isn't an Ernest movie. It's the Beverly Hillbillies where he played Jed Clampett, one of his last movies before he passed. So yeah, I am totally okay with that. He looks a lot better in a ball cap than I do. I look awful in a ball cap. Every time I wear a ball cap, it's usually when I'm working in the yard or something because I look bad in them. Yeah, I may actually dig out a ball cap next week and show you all how bad I look in one. All right. So with that, we'll hop off here. Remember, share the videos everywhere you can. And when we hit that 5K before Samhain, because honestly, anytime I've brought a challenge to you all, you have risen to the occasion. So I honestly think the deck is stacked against me on this one, but that's okay. I benefit from it. And that's good. So I would say when we get there, because I really think you all can do it, So yeah, we should be able to hit 5K with you all sharing the channel and the videos around. And also, remember to work on your energetic body and your astral body for the weekly challenge. Come up with a meditation, a ritual, something to help you work and cleanse that body, heal it, and try to do that daily for this week. And I'll try and have a weekly challenge ready by Friday. I know we missed last Friday. Apologize about that one. And don't forget, Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, me and Linda, Magical Coffee Hour. So I'll be seeing you there as well. Okay? And for those who haven't already heard, the Dragon Magic 101 class is live. So go check that out. Big help. Good night, John. Thank you for joining us. All right, everybody. You have a wonderful evening. Stay safe out there. And hit me up in Discord if you want. I probably won't be in the after chat because I am going to try and go to bed, like I said. And I will definitely see you all Sunday for the Magical Coffee Hour. All right. Thanks, Will. I appreciate it. Hey, anybody wants to actually write up a review and email it to me, please do. I will definitely post it. Okay. Oh, God, I read that so much wrong. So wrong. So wrong. Okay. The harp is calling. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm not going to say what I read. Y'all have a wonderful night, too. All right. Take it easy.